That is the landing ship in Ashdod the Zionist colonial forces used in kidnapping participants of the Gaza Flotilla, whose only mission was to break the siege on Gaza and deliver humanitarian aid to starving women and children. Among the relief supplies were baby formulas that the occupation army has continued to block from entering the Strip, forcing infants into starvation and suffering. The high-profile figures seized in this piracy include Swedish climate activist Greta Thunberg, Nelson Mandela's grandson, Mandla Mandela, and several European lawmakers. Flotilla organizers accused Israel of outright piracy, ramming vessels, and deploying water cannons in international waters, actions that immediately triggered global condemnation. The world responded in outrage as protests erupted across Europe, the Middle East, Africa, and the Americas. In Italy, crowds surged into the streets of Rome, Pisa, Florence, and Turin within hours of the hijacking, denouncing the attack on what was clearly a humanitarian mission.
My name is Greta Thunberg. I'm a citizen of Sweden. If you are watching this video, I have been abducted and taken against my will by Israeli forces. Our humanitarian mission was non-violent and abiding by international law. Please tell my government to demand my and the others' immediate release.
My name is Tommy Marcus, and if you're watching this video, I have been abducted by the Zionist regime of Israel on an aid trip to bring medicine and food to the population of 2 million Palestinians that the Israeli government is currently starving and bombing to death. I came on a boat with no weapons and will be spending time, assumedly, in prison now. I don't want the focus to be on me, because the reality is, as a white American person with Jewish blood, I will likely be fine. I hope that people use this opportunity to think about what Israel is doing to the innocent population of Palestinians on a daily basis, whether it be bombing children.
Hi Colombe, hi Andrea, and hi everyone at Atlas. I really hope that I was not going to have to do this video. Unfortunately, if you are watching this, it's because the Israeli army has kidnapped and intercepted us not too far from Gaza in international waters, which is a clear breach of international law. I don't know what to say. Israel seems to be acting once again in total impunity. I'm calling on everyone that is watching this video to help us. We need your help. Please pressure your government, block everything, help us get out of jail as soon as possible, but also let's stop this. Let's make sure that Israel can no longer continue to do what it's doing.
Greg here from the Veterans Delegation attached to the Global Flotilla. If you're seeing this, illegal Israeli interdiction operations have begun in international waters, and this is not a false report. If you don't hear from the flotilla, it's because the IDF is escalating, and history shows us that as peaceful actors pressure violent states, the state reacts with an iron fist. And we will not ease up and accept defeat. The blackout means that our solidarity and actions are working. Now our work gets louder. We will march, sit in, pressure our governments, and disrupt and demand intervention until every delegate is safe and Gaza is free. We keep us safe. We keep Gaza at the center, and we keep building pressure.
Italy's largest labor union even declared a nationwide strike in solidarity with Gaza and the flotilla, threatening to shut down services and transportation across the country. This was no small move. It was a direct act of defiance against Israel's brutality and a call for real accountability. And while mainstream media tried to frame it as tensions, it was nothing short of historic resistance from the European grassroots. YouTube works hard to make sure videos like this never see the light of day. Their algorithm suppresses it with the help of Israeli bots. But the more you hit the like button, the more the algorithm will be forced to push it out to others. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do so now.
Hello everyone, we are in front of Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Athens, Greece for the gathering against the Zionist attack to the Global Smooth Flotilla boat. As delegation until victory and anti-barrels front, we call all the people to mobilize for Palestine, to mobilize for people of Gaza. And we are starting in 8th of October from here from Athens to go through Egypt to Rafah crossing to approach Gaza.
Turkey also erupted in fury. Istanbul and other major cities filled with tens of thousands of protesters, officials themselves labeling Israel's actions as terrorism, linking the attack on the flotilla with the broader rage over the genocide in Gaza. Greece was no different. Athens turned into a sea of Palestinian flags as protesters called out Israel's piracy and demanded the immediate release of those kidnapped. Germany, too, saw waves of anger, with Berlin and other cities hosting rallies demanding humanitarian access for Gaza, something Israel never wants to allow. Across Europe, smaller but fierce protests sprang up overnight through social media networks, proving that ordinary people are sick of Tel Aviv's lies and brutality. The Middle East and Africa raised their voices loud as well. Tunisia saw fiery demonstrations across Tunis and other cities, people openly backing the flotilla and condemning the blockade as a crime against humanity. Palestinians themselves described the seizure exactly as it is, aggression against a peaceful initiative. Another attempt to strangle solidarity for Gaza, Yemen's government also declared open support, a reminder that resistance to Israeli arrogance is not limited to one people or one region, but stretches across borders.
We are so worried about the people on the flotilla, including our dear friends Adnan and Tor, and all the other ones who are so courageous. And it just is blowing the mind of people all over the world that Israel has this impunity to board boats and kidnap.
In the Americas, anger flared too. Argentina's Buenos Aires saw massive turnouts with thousands in the streets, chanting for Gaza and condemning Israel's attack on civilians. Brazil's government wasted no time, issuing a fierce condemnation accusing Israel of violating international law and endangering humanitarian workers. Insert Colombia, however, took things even further. This year, Bogotá has emerged as one of the strongest voices against Israel. Back in July, Colombia hosted the Hague Group Summit alongside South Africa, Turkey and others, laying formal genocide charges against Israel and demanding real sanctions. That summit ended with unified backing for ICC investigations and a push to hold Israel accountable under international law. Washington immediately condemned it and threatened sanctions on participants, yet the momentum only grew. In August, Colombia advanced even more boldly, issuing a secret directive embedding pro-Palestinian policies across government ministries, banning Israeli firms from public contracts, boosting Palestinian narratives in education and media, and tightening economic restrictions. Israel's allies called it bias. But for the oppressed, it was the first taste of institutional justice. Last month, Colombia then rolled out its own domestically produced assault rifles to replace the Israeli Galil rifles it had relied on for decades. President Petro framed it as independence from colonial industries, refusing to bankroll oppression any longer. And when Israel hijacked the Gaza Flotilla yesterday, Colombia sharpened its response once more. Petro called for a full break with Israel, escalating sanctions and bracing for confrontation with Washington if needed. This was not empty rhetoric. It was the continuation of deliberate steps that Colombia had already taken, aligning itself with the global resistance to Israel's crimes and pushing toward ending the Gaza blockade once and for all.
If you wish to deliver aid to Gaza, you may do so through the established channels.
Thank you for watching and for continuing to support honest journalism. Subscribe if you haven't already to help us break through the algorithm and expand our reach. Until next time, God bless you.